What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily, and I mean daily, sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. We are live. We have not missed a day since December, since we started in 2020, and we're not about to start now. So thank you to all of you in the Early Edge universe for getting up this morning, but for getting up every single morning to join us and making this brand the leading brand in all of sports betting. Now, it's really funny. I read the chat before we start the show. Some of you had good days yesterday. Some of you said, I had bad days yesterday. It's all about the information because we had a really good day at SportsLine yesterday. Yeah, there's some X's in there, but throughout the day, if you just went piece by piece by piece, you cashed a bunch. The next screen, our props absolutely destroyed it. Prop stars, the last time I checked, 10-0, 11-0, 12-0. And by the way, if you're a SportsLine member, you can get his article. You can get all of the props now from our cappers at SportsLine way before we give them out on the show and get the numbers correctly. Then those green check marks can belong to you too. But another big thank you to the Early Edge universe, because yesterday we did our very first Caesars Sports Book same game parlay. We all threw it in there. Unbelievable response. Caesars is ecstatic. So are we. So today we're going to give you another, just a little one. It's going to be a mini one today. So this is the three legs. Tom Brady, player to score a touchdown, Mike Evans, James Conner total, plus 450. Plus 450. If you play this, go ahead and take a screenshot of it. Send it to us. Because next year, for those who participate in a lot of different things, we will reward you. And we have a little reward today that I'll tell you about in just a minute. All right, so all the housekeeping is done. Now, who did I get to work on Christmas morning? Who did I get to reward all of you at home? Well, let's bring in the stars of the show, because I got three gorgeous faces that are ready to rock your Christmas world. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, this young lady cashed her very first NFL ticket. The Ice Queen is now apparently the Gridiron Queen. Allie, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Guess I'm an NFL expert now, and I wanted to show off my pajamas my mom got me with my dogs on them. So,
is that what she gave you when they moved and you moved into your new apartment?
We're not moving yet. We're still here for Christmas.
Okay, all right. Well, we're here to take care of you because you know you're going to be out on your own very, very soon. But if you keep cashing tickets like yesterday, you can afford a huge apartment. Now, RJ runs NFL at SportsLine. Maybe he's looking for a new NFL capper, Allie. Who knows? RJ, Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas. No coincidence that the Ice Queen cashed on the coldest day for NFL that we've seen in recent memory. I mean, some of those fields look like ice hockey rinks to me, especially that Cleveland game. So great job by Allie there. And Santa brought me a present at the end of the night last night. Got that Steelers win at the end. So glad to see that.
Oh, my God. Oh, RJ, that was the sweat of all sweats. And I do not want to hitch my wagons to Kenny Pickett all the time, but last night was really nice at the end. And George Pickens as well. Now, this man has been dodging the weather, rolling blackouts. The janitor's closet has a light on. The light comes off. But today it works. Our five-tool player, the man we cannot live without. AB, with all the meaning in the world, Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to RJ, Allie, everybody in the Early Edge crew. Let me tell you what. First off, it's glad to be back in society. All right, we have power again. Second off, this fireplace behind me, I lit it yesterday because the house is 60 degrees right now. It's freezing. But I realized it set my back on fire, so I had to put it out really quick before we did the show. But yeah, man, Merry Christmas to everybody. It's good to be back.
You're a mess. At least we got out.
Let me say this. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. None of that. But Santa came, and instead of milk and cookies, we had to leave out more props from Prop Stars, right? Like that's all he wanted. So well done to props on that.
I can understand that when the man goes 10-0 or 11-0, it happens. And literally, you know how good a Prop Stars day is when my phone is just just texts me all night long. I got it, Proppy. I got it. You are the man. And we're so happy you're on our team. But we have a full show planned, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get right to it. Now, storylines that could affect the betting lines, and the sports gods have not only given us 5 NBA games today, but 3 NFL games. And we've talked about it, RJ, for several weeks. Packers dead, buried, no chance unless they have a few things happen. Start us off, sir.
Yeah, they had 2, I think, possible paths. They're trying to get that spot from either the Giants or the Commanders. Both lost. So I believe they only need one more loss from the Commanders if they went out. They need the Giants to lose both games, but both are now in play. Obviously, with both of them losing, they also needed a loss from Seattle. They got that one, not unexpectedly because of who Seattle was playing. So it was a good day for them. It's also a good day for the team they're playing today, Miami. Miami's now 1.5 games ahead of 8, 9, and 10 seeds after New England, the Jets, and the Titans all lost this weekend. The Titans were leading the division for a long time, and they are not now. The Jaguars are the hottest team in the AFC, maybe. I would say at this point, if you throw out the Bengals, because the Bengals look unstoppable. But both those teams got exactly what they needed from Sandal yesterday and in Week 16 to clear their path for the playoffs and give them a chance. Green Bay obviously needs to win today more as Miami faces New England and the Jets to close the season, so they can get in kind of on their own. But Green Bay's still going to need a little bit of help to get in.
Incredible stuff. We're going to break down, by the way, we're having an extended show today, so we're going to break down this game. We'll break down Denver and the Rams, and, of course, Tampa and Arizona all coming up in just a little bit, so stick around for that. Now, yesterday, AB, and by the way, I would like everybody in the chat to type Merry Christmas, Noah, because the bosses are up this morning on a Christmas morning. Noah's in the chat, and he says, AB showing his face. That big old face that we love so very much. And you know what face they love in Minnesota, by the way? They go by the same letters that my son goes by, JJ. And yesterday, was it a fun game? No doubt that was a fun game. But this guy continues to show he's the best receiver in the game. AB, what do you got?
Yeah, Coach. So, on Thursday during the Twitter Spaces prop show with you and Prop Stars every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we spoke about Justin Jefferson and said, look, he's 342 yards away from setting the NFL single-season receiving all-time record, and the Vikings are going to give him every opportunity. Hint, hint, you might want to play him. Well, he went for 133 yards receiving, all right? Now, the Vikings have 2 games left, okay? He's 209 yards away from setting that record. They're going to give him every opportunity to hit this number, play his receptions, play his yardage. The Vikings, especially they're what now, 12-3? Like, they've pretty much got this thing wrapped up. They're going to just air it out to Justin Jefferson to get him 209 yards or more. So pay attention to that. Also, lastly, the Pittsburgh Steelers entered last night 6-8. We all know the record. Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, they won last night. They've got 2 games left. And if there's any locker room in the NFL that believes and will fight and ride for their guy to make sure that that record stays, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. So keep an eye on them as well.
I love those storylines. I also love when they lead to cash tickets. And one of those last night from Prop Stars was Justin Jefferson, over 89.5 receiving yards that he blew out of the water. He also told you to stack it or ladder it, however you want to call it, and that would have cashed as well. All right, Jay Parlay 79 says, if Coach shouts out my birthday, we will sweep the board. There you go. Let's sweep the board. Let's get into it. Now, our board for the day, and it is stacked, and I mean stacked. So no plays officially from SportsLine itself. But if you're not a member yet, how about today being your day? But use the promo code EARLY, and I'll give you 30 days for free. 30 days for free. If you're not already a member. If you are, then you're already happy as hell. So, Allie, yesterday I was listening to the game, watching the game, and I wasn't really watching it, but just listening. And all I hear is Darius Slayton. Oh, he cuts it back. Good for, wait, 22 yards. And your prop was over 21.5. That is next level capping right there. So I would love, let's go 2 days in a row. Give me an NFL play today, please.
Yep. So my NFL play today is going to be James Conner under 68.5 rushing yards. He's only averaging 62 rushing yards per game, and he's been held under this line in 8 of his 11 games this season. And facing a Bucs defense that is 13 in rushing DVOA, they have been playing a little better as of late, but the game script could also be an issue with Tampa forcing the Cardinals to abandon the run. So I think Conner is going to face a lot of stack boxes and struggle to find any running lanes and stay under that 65.5 yards.
And let's also remember he's playing a Bucs team that plays slow as well. It's just like playing the Packers. There's a lot less plays to have when you're playing against this Bucs team. I love this play. But you said DVOA. Makes me think of Prop Stars. And Prop, even though he's without power this morning, he sent me a pick. He says, Coach, you got to get it on the show. Christian Watson. Love this cat. Over 54.5 receiving yards. We know this Dolphins defense can be scored upon. They can be thrown upon. They've given up a lot of yards, a lot of points, and Christian Watson has very quickly become Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. So go over 54.5 receiving yards, minus 115. And remember, perfect yesterday from our man, Proppy Two Claws. All right, now, as I look at my notes, where do I go next? Well, AB, yesterday, you got off the schneid. Yesterday, everybody was talking about AB, but that was yesterday. What do you got for us today?
Yes, sir. You know what? We're going to try to stay right here with the attention of the crew and also, again, trying to warm this damn house up because it's freezing in here. But these picks are going to do it, all right? We're going to go to the Miami Dolphins. Speaking of hot, they are going to have to come into this game today on fire, obviously, against the Green Bay Packers. As you mentioned, can run the ball and slow this thing down. I look for Miami to do the opposite and speed this thing up and force Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to play at a faster pace than they probably want to. So we're going to take the Dolphins first half team total over 13.5. We're going to take the Dolphins second half team total over 13.5 because they're going to start hot and they're going to finish hot. They cannot take their foot off of the gas pedal. We're also going to add in Aaron Rodgers over half an interception. That's right. The no-fly zone is in effect today on a holiday for Aaron Rodgers. And he's going to put one in the air because, again, Miami is going to force him into more pass attempts today and a few that he probably doesn't like with that. Next, we're going to look at the Broncos and the Rams. This game, let's be honest, could be the opposite of a holiday. It could be hideous out here. That's why we're going to play Broncos-Rams over 3.5 total field goals. Don't care who kicks them. Could be the Rams kicking all four. Could be 2-2. Could be 3-1. It does not matter. But you have two good kickers in this game in what could be a tight, low-scoring game. So we're going to take over 3.5, getting that at minus 115, by the way, usually a little more expensive. Then lastly, Leonard Fournette, over 40.5 rushing yards. Tom Brady's arm is close to falling off. He's thrown it like 50 times over the last 6 games, each one. I think that they're going to try to use a more balanced approach, and they're going to try to run the football, which they can on Arizona. Who knows what Trace McSorley is going to do on the other side. Tampa should have more opportunities. And Dan said this in the chat. More opportunities. Apologies. We want to make sure that we shout out props on that one. But Tampa should be running the football a lot. Leonard Fournette over 40.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, what is going on with the word opportunity? Let's go.
I know. I said it like 6 times, and you're right. Dan's right. It's opportunities for sure.
By the way, Jeffrey in the chat says, Watson burned me last week against the Rams. Dare we go back to the well? Oh, it's Prop Stars play. Tail, blindly. Let's ride. There you go. Let's ride. Now, it's my turn because we know RJ is our GOAT. RJ is going to go in the maestro spot. But today, I've been locked in on the NBA lately. So I wanted to do something for all of you at home and also reward if we cash these tickets. So I've got plays on all 5 of the NBA games, and I'll make it very, very quick. We're going to go Sixers-Knicks over 215. The Sixers have become an over team. They're playing Madison Square Garden. It's an early game. It's going to be a lot of energy. Easy cover there, over 215. Then game number 2, Lakers and Dallas. Seriously? You think LeBron James is happy about having to leave California on Christmas Day to play in Luka's house? He's not. Mavs roll, minus 7.5. Game number 3, Milwaukee and Boston. Don't look now, but the Celtics are not as good as they used to be. The Bucks are starting to get a little bit better. Chris Middleton's still out, but they're getting 5.5 points. After getting blown out in Brooklyn, they'll be laser focused today. Give me Giannis and 5.5. I'll take it all day long. Game number 4, Memphis Golden State. First half under 113. Now, lately, the Warriors have been starting really slow and then scoring a lot in the second half. So I didn't want to attack that. I didn't want to attack the number, but I'll take the first half under 113. And game number 5, I'll take the Denver Nuggets. Money line minus 140 tonight against the Suns team that has really been struggling lately. The Nuggets are getting back to full strength. You won't get this number very often like this as they start to get better. But I was thinking, and AB, we're always talking, you and I and Snake, about how we can do more for the people at home, correct?
Correct.
We talk about that all the time. So here's what I want to do. If all 5 of these hit in a 5-way parlay, it's plus 2,100. So if all 5 hit, here's what I'm going to do. I need you all, whoever wants to participate, to write in the chat, cash that ticket. Just write cash that ticket. And we're going to give away 5 $100 winners. So that's $500. Cold, hard cash, no strings attached. Not like anybody else where you got to sign up for something and get him. No, that's not what we do here. I just want to do something for you, for me. If it hits, 5 $100 winners, just write cash that ticket. All right.
Coach, that's awesome.
You like that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just thought about something. And I can see RJ is thrilled by that just from his reaction.
Someone in the chat said, can we get RJ to smile for Christmas?
There's the smile right there. That's all you get. That's all you get. Because the man is laser focused. When you put his picks in front of him, you can't get him to do any of that. RJ, you're up, big boy.
I've been smiling this whole time. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I got 3 NFL plays, 1 for each game. We're going to get into the games a little, in a little bit, so I don't want to go too deep into these. I got Dolphins minus 3.5. I talked about the narrative. Green Bay needs this win today more. You can make a lot of money fading narratives. A lot of the times people back narratives too much. I think this line's come down a little too far. My power ratings have Miami at -6. I do worry about them giving up backdoor covers with that defense and Green Bay's offense playing well. But now that it's come off the 4 to 3.5, I like playing Miami here. Second play is going to be Broncos Rams over 36.5 points. This is probably another one that people are wanting to go the other way because of the low total. But you don't need to do much to get over 36.5 in this league. Mikey talks about it all the time, that key number of 37. Rams defense has allowed 24 plus points in 5 of their last 6, was dominated in the first half, in the other by the Raiders, and they didn't do anything offensively after that. So I think that they can give up a bunch here. Denver's offense coming off their 2 best scoring games of the year, one with their backup quarterback. We know Russell will want to show out. He's completely fine off the injury report now. So this game's not affected by weather. I think it's going to go over 36.5. Third play, Cardinals team total under 16.5 points. Tampa Bay's defense played very well last week until the offense set Cincy up with several short fields. Trace McSorley completed 54% of his passes in preseason against backups. I don't think he's very good. He has just 3 picks and just 29 pass attempts in the regular season so far. I don't think the Cardinals are scoring points. It's going to be hard for them to get multiple touchdowns in this game. So under 16.5 points in the final game of the day.
Yeah, you've got a motivated Bucs team, and we'll talk about it in a couple of minutes. But they came into the week with a 1-game lead over all 3 of the other teams in their division. Carolina won, Saints lost, and the Falcons lost. We'll get into all that in a second. By the way, Dickie says, all RJ cares about is cashing tickets. You're damn right. That should be like on a T-shirt. When we open up our new store, RJ shirt is going to be just, all I care about is cashing tickets. That's going to be the hottest seller, too. Whatever RJ's T-shirt is going to be the hottest seller. No doubt about it. All right. That's for whoever hates it when I clear my throat. Merry Christmas. All right. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap. And look at this. Oh, an AB with the graphics. All right. I've got plays on all 5 NBA games today. And again, if they all 5 hit, those of you who participated and wrote cash that ticket, we're going to send out. You got to tune in tomorrow because I'm going to need Venmos. We're going to need all kinds of Twitter handles. In fact, go ahead and do that now. It'll save us a step. Put your Twitter handle next to cash that ticket. Just write it again, and it'll be all good. So Sixers, Knicks over. Bucks, Mavs, Grizzlies, Warriors, first half under, and the Nuggets. Then the Stoic one. Dolphins minus 3.5. The over in Broncos, Rams, 36.5. And then the Cardinals team total. They're not going to score at all, under 16.5. Then Proppy, 1 play today. Christian Watson over 54.5 against that porous Miami defensive backfield. Then M squared 1 play today. Packers, he's on the other side, but he gave it out when it was plus 4.5. We encourage you to watch our mega preview on Tuesdays. Then Allie, can she move to 2-0? Right now, she's the only undefeated NFL handicapper SportsLine has. Let's lean into it. James Conner under 68.5 rush yards minus 115. And then AB coming in strong today. Dolphins, first half, second half, team total over 13.5. And then Aaron Rodgers. He'll throw at least 1 pick. You know he will. Broncos, Rams, let's go over 3.5 field goals to lead to the over in that game. And then Leonard Fournette is going to be grinded out. Get it done in the desert. Over 40.5 rush yards. Allie, you worked Christmas Eve. You worked Christmas Day, and that's what being part of the crew is all about. So thank you. Merry Christmas. Love the pajamas. Tell mom and dad we said hello, and we'll see you very soon, okay?
Merry Christmas, guys.
She is the Ice Queen. She is Alabama, and she is undefeated. Can you believe she's undefeated in the NFL, guys? I mean, it's crazy.
Dude, she's undefeated in the NFL. Buckets is undefeated with his one NBA play. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, Buckets is still reeling from placing a $500 bet when he meant to bet $50. He works for you, RJ. Take care of that. All right, now it's time to get down to business. For those of you, it's a kind of an extended show today. Yesterday, one of our biggest shows we've ever had, thanks to you. You guys love the format. Maybe we'll do it in 2023 that way. But right now, we're focused on 3 big NFL games today. Packers and Dolphins. Now, here's where we stand as a brand. As I told you, Mikey gave it out at plus 4.5 on the Packers. Christian Watson over 54.5 receiving yards. And then we've got 4 plays from these 2 gentlemen. So, RJ, let's start with you because Mikey's on the other side. So we say here at the show all the time, take the information and make the pick yourself. Why are you so adamant that the Dolphins can cover this 3.5 today?
Yeah, but the power ratings are just too far off for me. I have this line at -6 if you account for where I have the Dolphins right now, and they're well below where I had them a few weeks back because Tua's been hurt, been banged up, hasn't looked 100%. But you get healthier as the season goes on. We had those concerns with other quarterbacks, and a few weeks after their injuries, they look fine. So I think this Miami offense has a lot of potential. Green Bay's defense coming off a great game, but possibly against the worst offense in the league right now with the Rams' injuries. They don't have any playmakers. They're throwing Baker Mayfield out there, quarterback, 400 plus yards allowed in 4 straight prior to that, though. And then that included a run against the Bears, the Titans. I mean, they're not playing the best of the best in that stretch, and they're just giving up a ton of yards. Miami's offense found the ground game against Buffalo. Green Bay's defense 30th in rush yards per play. And their offense wasn't that impressive against the Rams coming out of the bye. I know that won that game handily. They didn't have to do too much at the end of the game. So I'm a little bit worried there. I think Green Bay's offense is better now that all the receivers are healthy. So I was worried about playing the Dolphins at anything above 3.5 because of the backdoor potential with that offense. But I just think the value is too much there at 3.5 to not back the Dolphins here and go against the narrative of Green Bay needing this game more.
It makes a lot of sense. It really, really does. Sometimes we get caught up in the results and not look at who they play. And that can be a really bad mistake that you always steer us clear of. Now, AB, let me come to you because you have 3 other plays in this particular game. And when you've got 2 stud quarterbacks like that, it could go to the over, which is where I'm leaning, but that would mean the Dolphins would have to score first, which I believe you think could happen based off of your plays.
Yeah, I do. We're playing Dolphins first half team total over 13.5, Dolphins second half team total over 13.5. And look, I think that this fits a lot of narratives here. So first, what RJ said is correct, right? Like, I mean, who have the Packers really beaten, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, I saw the Tennessee Titans go to Lambeau, beat the hell out of them, and Tennessee can't beat anybody, right? So, I think that we're looking at Green Bay too high, and we're kind of looking at Miami a little low. Miami had a great game against Buffalo. Like, they surprised me in terms of with that. So, yeah, like I think that Miami's in a spot to where they have to go. They have to play aggressive right out of the gate, and they have to play aggressive for 60 minutes and put it all together. And I think Mike McDaniels, of anybody in the NFL, in terms of head coaches who wants to get going and get this thing right on track, it's him, and it's Tua with this offense. So I expect Miami to be in this thing, throwing the ball, pushing the limit, really all 60 minutes here. And you know what? If Green Bay sticks with it, right, like with the pacing, even better for our plays, right? Like all we want is a faster paced game, and I think that we're going to get it today.
That's it. That's all we want is a faster paced game. That's it. By the way, a little added bonus. Guess who's in the chat right now? If you have a question for M Squared, he is up. He is live. He's here on Christmas morning, and he is in the chat with you. In fact, he said home field worth about 0.5 point as opposed to if this game was played in September. Thank you very much. So any questions for him, go ahead and throw it into the chat. All right. Now, by the way, I'm going to be live on CBS Sports HQ at halftime of every single game today. So you think your boy has the day off after this? No. And I'll be on at halftime of the second game. Hopefully, I'll be awake. Broncos, Rams. Broncos laying 3 on the road. Total 36.5. We know we're on the over in this game because, RJ, let me start with you. Last week, the Broncos, we were on the over with Arizona, and what was it, 6-3 at halftime? Then they scored 30 in the second half. So as you said, anything can happen. Start us off on this game, please.
And that was with their backup quarterback. Now Russ is back under center. He's going to want to show that what he did against Kansas City is repeatable. He's had a very long season. A lot of naysayers of they need to get rid of him, go with someone else. Can you pull the plug 1 year into that massive deal? And this is a good opportunity for him in a game a rare game the Broncos are favored, especially on the road. I teased the Rams earlier in the week. I still think you can get away with teasing them and the Buccaneers right now, just because I don't expect the Broncos to cover big numbers with how they've played this year. But Denver, they were losing 6-3 at home to halftime to a bad Arizona defense. Then Colt McCoy got hurt. They got to play a third string quarterback there. Well, they'll get to play whatever string quarterback in this game with Baker Mayfield. That Rams offense had just 156 yards against a mediocre defense. But that was in the elements. We knew they were going to struggle in that game. It was an LA team playing in Green Bay outdoors in December. It just wasn't going to be good for them. So I'm not surprised that happened there. There's going to be much better conditions for them. If Sean McVay isn't an awful coach, and I mean, he's gone to the Super Bowl and they won the Super Bowl last year, I think the Rams have the coaching advantage. They will have home field in this game. So I think the Rams is the way to look at 3. Can't lay points with Denver on the road, but I do think there'll be more points here than people expect because it is a controlled environment, because these teams aren't very good. I don't know that the defenses are going to be giving their all at this point of the season. So I like teasing the Rams. I do think they're the better play at 3, but the best play right now for me is the over.
I think that the storyline that I just took out of what you said the most is that they'll kind of be playing free. There's just a bunch of players that are out to prove themselves, and they know they're both out of the playoff race. Usually that adds up to points. So AB, based off what RJ just said, you have a play in this game as well, but you think that the offenses, when they get to a certain point in the field, could be stalled today.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all season, right? And for any of the kids out there that are watching, look, let me show you what both of these offenses look like when they get to the red zone, all right? So you're driving and you got your car and you just like they can't get in. Both of these offenses cannot punch it in the red zone, and that's why you see not only 2 good field goal kickers on each side, but yeah, man, like they get stuck, right? And especially with backup quarterbacks. Let me rephrase that. Backup quarterbacks that both of these guys have. It's just difficult, man. So, look, somebody's going to score touchdowns. It's going to happen for sure, probably on both sides. I'm with RJ. He broke it down perfectly. I completely agree. But we're going to play over 3.5 field goals. And, honestly, the quicker that we get there, the better. I think that in the first half, if we can get some stalled drives around the 30, 35-yard line on both sides, get to 2 by halftime, we're sitting pretty here. So, yeah, like take 2 offenses that really can't put it all together. Those are good for field goals.
All right, very, very good. I'm never betting a field goal prop when the Chargers are playing or when I saw some yesterday in the Dallas game. They were going 4th and 8 from midfield. It was crazy how these coaches are coaching these games now. All right, so that's game number 2 at 4:25 Eastern time. Then late tonight, 8:20 p.m. Eastern time. This matters a lot. And by the way, thank you to the young man in the chat. I meant to say the Saints won yesterday. They beat the Browns 17-10. So the Bucs have to win or they're going to be tied for first place at the top of the NFC South. So the Bucs on the road against the Fighting McSorleys are laying over a touchdown, gentlemen. The total sitting at 40.5. RJ, let's start with you. The Cardinals with their 8th string quarterback. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was a receiver playing quarterback when he came in last week. And that's no slight. That's just what I thought. So you think they're really going to struggle to score today?
Yeah, and they're all in their team total is at 16.5. I mean, that's a typical team total for a bad team and not one that has a guy who's probably destined to play in the USFL or the XFL here in a few years at quarterback. So I don't know that this Cardinals offense is going to play very well. We know that their coach is probably a negative overall, just not a very good coach in terms of scheming things up and turning, something out of nothing. So I don't know what he's going to do with this quarterback here. I think the line is pretty fair with McSorley at quarterback just because Tampa hasn't played that well all season. But their defense did just allow 3.8 yards per play against Cincinnati. Problem is they allowed those 24 points on 4 consecutive drives, giving up just 96 yards. Each of those drives started within the opponent's 40. So you're not going to win very many games if you do that, especially against a quarterback of the caliber of Joe Burrow. Not going to have to worry about that here. They're not going to turn the ball over a ton because they're not going to risk it a ton. They're not going to throw a bunch of passes. This Arizona defense is toast. You can run it on them. McSorley has 3 interceptions and 29 pass attempts, like I said earlier, bad in the preseason. I think Tampa's defense could score a touchdown here and get this one to cover, but I thought the safer play was to go under on the Cardinals team total. Also, like Tom Brady throwing under his passing total. I put it up on the site a little earlier today. I just don't believe it's going to be a high volume game. He throws 40 passes every single game at this point, but this is not a game where the Buccaneers are going to have to do that. One of the rare games where they won't. He had a game like that against Seattle when they played in Germany. He only threw 29 passes. Very, very good in that game, but only got to around 250 yards. So I think he's going to stay under the 273, 274, whatever you see it at.
And by the way, as RJ just said, if you have been gone for a month or a few weeks, props are now live at SportsLine. You can get NFL props right there in the page or experts page, but you got to be a SportsLine member to get those when we give them out at that number, and you know how important those numbers are. Now, let's also remember, guys, that when you have a team that just recently, like last week, gave up a humongous lead, they're going to be running scared. So they're going to want to score and score and score and score if they start doing that, because they don't want that to happen again. So AB, I know you have a prop in this game, but I also want you to talk to the Bucs and their motivation and their matchup against this Cardinals defense, please.
Yeah, so, first off, we're playing Leonard Fournette over 40.5 rushing yards. And really, it's everything that RJ just laid out. There's nothing that I'm going to say that's going to be more eloquent and perfectly stated than what he just did, because he's exactly right. And look at your books now. Like right before we went live, Tom Brady's pass attempts, taken off the board. Tom Brady's completions, taken off the board.
Ooh.
Now, they might be popping back up, but it's because RJ is 100% correct. This is going to be a game where Brady's throwing under his pass attempts. They're going to be running the football a lot. That's why we like Leonard Fournette. Now, as for the Bucs and as for these two teams, exactly, right? Like the Bucs should be playing from a positive game script. They should be playing with a lead. They should be running the football. They should be using the short passing game as a de facto run game as well. So yeah, like that's what you're going to see out of Tampa. Like they kind of want to have one of those games, and Coach, you just spoke about it earlier in regards to how the Packers offense played against the Rams. That's kind of what the Bucs want to do, is where, you know what, you just don't have to do a ton. Let's just go out, win the game, keep it at our pace, stay healthy. That's what you're going to see out of Tampa. And you know what, like anybody else, you'd get worried with Tampa, but Chris McSorley, like it could get bad in a hurry.
Come on.
He's minus 199 to throw a pick, just FYI. I just looked at the odds. Like, you never see odds that high for a quarterback to throw a pick. So, I mean, the only issue you might get with there is they might not let him throw a ton. They might just run the ball a ton. So, but I mean, everybody thinks he's throwing a pick in this game.
Cliff Kingsbury might be taking snaps by the end of this thing.
You know how like Caesars or any of the sports books will throw up those videos about, what do you make of this bet? This is one of those bets that if you bet on McSorley at minus 199 to throw an interception, that's not a good bet. It's just not a good. Not if you want to do that over and over and over. And by the way, my career just flashed before my eyes because I realized that I am working on Christmas morning on a show where somebody said, Glenn, what kind of smoker do you have? That's where my career is at right now. What kind of smoker do you have on a Christmas morning? Damn, I love doing this show so much. All right, do not forget, I need you to cash that ticket if you want to participate in our $500 NBA parlay contest, or whatever we're going to call it. I need cash that ticket and your Twitter handle. So put that into the chat, please. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the whole recap, because a lot of you, I see, just came in late. So here are all of our best bets, not just the NFL. I'll let it sit up there for a second. And really the ones that we're focused on, RJ's all NFL, prop stars on Christian Watson. So we're going to be all over those today. All right. Now, we also have one little added bonus for you as well. Yesterday, we gave you a big time same game parlay from Caesars Sportsbook. And today, we're going to do it again, but it's kind of just a mini one. We want you guys to participate. And Caesar's been nice enough to partner with us. So here's what we're looking like. Plus 450. You just throw a $10 fun bet on it. You'll win $45. Tom Brady to throw at least 2 passing touchdowns. A player to score a touchdown. Love it if that was Mike Evans. And then James Conner, total rushing yards. That was Allie's play. Under 68.5 rushing yards for James Conner and the Cardinals in the nighttime game as well. It's been a fun day. It's been a fun weekend. Remember, we're here every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for Early Edge in 5. And then every single primetime game, like tomorrow night, we'll be here live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I cannot tell you enough how much we appreciate all of you, how much we love all of you, how much we enjoy doing this. And with that being said, let me bring the guys in one more time on this Christmas morning, because not everybody gets up to do this. Not everybody wants to work on Christmas or any of the holidays, but we do, and you guys do. So I'm just going to give you the floor, and you can say whatever you want on this very special day in the Early Edge universe. RJ, I would love for you to start.
Yeah, I told everybody thank you yesterday. I don't really want to rehash my words there. I am looking forward to this slate. I will say the people are going to want to tune off for that Broncos-Rams game, I'm sure. But go check it out on Nickelodeon. They do a great telecast over there if you've ever seen a Nickelodeon game. Very kid-friendly, very focused to that. So if you have kids and you want to get them in on the action on this NFL Sunday on Christmas, I'd say throw that game on, watch that telecast, because I believe those guys do a great job. And they should be kind of rewarded and shouted out a little bit more for it.
Yeah, it's certainly in the CBS family as well. It's fun when they score touchdowns, all the green slime comes out, and it's just a ton of fun. It really, really is. So you can watch it there too. It's not going to hurt us at CBS. We own both. All right, now Noah says he's a company man. He's a company man. All right, AB, anything you don't have to say, whatever you want, sports-wise, whatever. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so first off, that was a great promo that RJ just did, just working in the brand. I love that. Now, Merry Christmas to you, Coach RJ, Noah in the chat, Mikey, everybody in the Early Edge, and everybody in the Early Edge crew. Thank you all for making the show what it is. We say it all the time. You make this show what it is, and I 100% stand behind that. Thank you guys for tuning in and rolling with us. Also, our man Glenn in the chat. All right, I want to see how this prime rib goes that you're smoking. You're talking about the grill, wood pellet. Well done on that, dude. You sound like you know exactly what you're doing. So I want to see that. Merry Christmas to you, man. Merry Christmas to everybody.
All right, one last thing. I know there's some of you that even though it's Christmas morning, still need to shop for presents. Well, I can't think of a better present than a year-long membership to SportsLine. I can't think of anything better than that. So, and you can do that without going to a store. So just a little added present idea for those of you out there. But damn it, now it's time for us to finish. Now, all of us go spend time with our families or whatever you're going to do. If you're driving, travel safe. If you're flying, fly safe. We want to see you all right back here tomorrow morning. All right. With that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Christmas tickets straight to the pay window for my entire crew. Damn it, do I love them all. Stoic one, R.J. White. AB, the snake, also working behind the scenes this morning on Christmas. Can't do it without him. And the entire crew. Every single day, 365 days a year, we grind for you. But damn it, we love it. We love it all right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.